Today I'm joined by Rachael Davenport. Rachel's the founder of Core Therapies and Core Therapies College, who's built a thriving multi-therapist clinic from the ground up, helping people not just relax, but genuinely recover and feel better physically and emotionally. So, hi Rachel.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm really well. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh,
Um,
thank you for the invite.
So, Rachel, look, for anyone who doesn't know core therapies, how would you describe what you do, who
Hmm.
you do it for,
Yeah.
and also what makes you different?
Okay, so this could take a while, although I will try to be succinct. So Core Therapies is a therapy business where at one point a while ago it was fully multidisciplinary. We had talking therapies, art therapy, as well as the physical massage therapy and remedial therapies. Over the 15 years that I've had core therapies now that I've been running it, I've gone from one treatment room to multidisciplinary therapy centre. Um, my specialism is helping people fix themselves. And so that is the injury and pain rehabilitation, and we've recently, something you don't know, so we didn't have a chance to have a chat beforehand
Yeah,
really, but it's just occurred to me, something you don't know is we've recently moved premises, and I don't think I've updated that on everything yet.
yeah.
And we've actually built an injury and pain rehab gym as
Oh,
well as the
wow.
therapy rooms. So we no longer do the talking therapies, but we provide all relaxation treatments, reflexology, massage, aromatherapy, Reiki, etc. And we do the clinical treatments. And the clinical treatments are there to help people go from pain to pain free and get people going from being in a state of either not being able to work or, I'm self-employed, I know you work for yourself. And if you're not able to work, you can't earn money.
Yeah,
And so the people that can't work and can't bring an income in and have to go, rely on benefits because they're in pain and they physically can't work, those people we really work with to help them get back to work, back to doing the things they love, just kicking a ball with their kids.
yeah,
Because when
yeah,
if you can't kick a ball around with your kids, you get really cross with yourself, and then you get very upset that you can't interact with your children in the way you want to. And so there are many facets to why I do what I do, and who we help. And for the relaxation side of things, sometimes, and we saw it in COVID, we saw it in the lockdowns specifically, it really highlighted it. Touch is so powerful. And sometimes when people come to us, they're coming to us for the relaxation treatments because it might be the only touch they get in a month.
yeah.
And just having that time for themselves just to lay down on a couch, have a massage, have reflexology, maybe have a facial, maybe even get the nails done and talk to somebody different.
Yeah.
It means that they are able to step away from their life and feel differently about themselves for a little while. Be kind to themselves because so often people aren't kind to themselves. So it's the
I
two
love that.
facets.
That's brilliant, Rachel. And look, you're clearly passionate about what you do, which is sort of great, helping people and both physically and sort of mentally as well in their mindset. So that's great. And so look, let's go back to when you started out, because you started as a mobile therapist. What was the moment that you realised you wanted to build a business, not just do the work?
That started way before I was a therapist.
Okay, yeah.
Way, way before that.
Yeah, tell
So
us a bit about that then. Yeah.
I'm a qualified mechanic, motor
Wow.
vehicle mechanic. I'm a qualified teacher, which is where the college came in. And the college, I only run very small courses now. I don't run the big courses anymore. And that's because of the injury and pain rehab gym and what we're wanting to do with that and the charity and CIC side of things, which if we've got time, I'll tell you about.
Yeah.
Um, but I've done lots of things, and I was a single parent for 13 years.
Okay.
And it got to the point where I couldn't be an employee because my children needed me. And so I started to work for myself. I started a toy business selling children's wooden toys online. And that was before kids' wooden toys were popular. The website that I built, so I built my own iOS commerce website. I learned how to do that, built the website, started selling the toys online. That website was built at the same time as some of the large brands that have been bought out by people like Morrison's and things.
Yeah.
Um, but I did that so that I could be there for my kids, take the school phone calls when I needed to. Also, I'm pretty unemployable. I've got a I do have a potty mouth, but I also
Yeah.
say it as I see it. And if I think somebody is being disingenuous,
Yeah.
I'll call them out on it. Managers don't tend to like that. So I'm also pretty unemployable. I was employed before my toy business. I then over a year built that business up, opened a shop in Folkestone, and that was in December 2007. And in February 2008, the big recession was announced. You know, the huge one that just crashed everything.
Global financial crisis. Yeah.
And I was selling children's wooden toys that weren't even for sale, you know, in Woolworths. Woolworths was still around at the time, and they weren't even, you know, you couldn't just buy them. And so, yeah, I had to shut my shop, went and started selling my stock on the markets. Spent about 4 years on the markets, selling various different things, including incense. And off the back of selling incense, people were asking for essential oils. And so I decided to do an aromatherapy course because I knew that there were certain essential oils that have certain contraindications. They can actually be quite dangerous. There are some that can cause epileptic fits. There are some that can make people trip a little bit, give them hallucinations. And so you have to be quite careful and know, with only with certain ones, but know which ones are safe for people to use. And also, a lot of them are skin sensitive and toxicity as well. So I went to go and find this course, and as a single parent, there was a government scheme at the time which allowed me to do a full-time course for half the price of the evening course.
Yeah.
And the full-time diploma, which was 2.5 days a week, which meant I was still able to keep working, covered massage, reflexology, and aromatherapy.
Okay.
And so the reflexology I had history with because I'd already done a short reflexology course to bond with my eldest son, because I had very severe postnatal depression when I had him. And so I wasn't then able to bond with him in the way I wanted and would have normally done. So I already had history there. And so I was like, stuff it, let's do it. And I went into that with the view of selling and then making creams and things to sell on my market stall
Yeah.
and to complement what I was already doing. And I fell in love with the biodynamics of the body.
So at what stage? Because like everything you've sort of described there, um, you're still doing the work. So at
Mm-hmm.
what point did you start to do things differently to into a scalable business rather
So,
than just the job? Because now
yeah,
you know, if we, you know, bringing it up to date, I mean, how many people do you employ now? Is it something like 8 people or something you employ
I've
now?
got 8 therapists who work in my clinic. Everybody's self-employed,
Yeah,
but they rent rooms from me. I
yeah,
have one employee, and that's my clinic administrator.
okay, yeah,
Even my husband, who now works with me, who retrained back in 2023, is self-employed therapist renting a room from Core Therapies. But we work as a team and a family. So when I left college and finished my first level 3 diploma, I went on to Brighton Uni and did a foundation degree in science in complementary healthcare. And it was there that there was a business unit. And
right,
it was stuff that even though I'd um, had a toy shop and so I'd run a business, I didn't know a lot about business. I was playing I was playing then.
yeah,
And I learned so much in that unit and so much from the guy who was teaching it. Little shout out to him. His name's Mark and he owns a natural balance in Hove, Brighton and Hove
okay,
area.
yeah, natural
And
balance understood.
so, yeah, he was teaching that unit and I nicked his business model.
Okay,
So I was like, well, if you can do it, of course I can do it.
yeah,
you know. And so I pinched his business model, started off mobile, and all I needed to do was get to enough clients that I could then afford to pay the rent for a premises. So I kept with my market stall, used my market stall as a feeder for clients, built the clients up, took on a single room and a hair salon, and built that up to the point where I was turning away 10 patients a week.
right, okay,
And then I took on a premises and built 2 treatment rooms and started taking on other therapists because it was bigger than me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to turn those people away. And I've got one pair of hands, but having a premises where I'm able to have other therapists in, that then creates a roll-on effect, creates a ripple effect where other therapists are then able to help the people that I don't have the time to. And of course, the thing about
So,
therapies as well, which is important to know, is that not every therapist suits every person, and not every therapy suits every person.
yeah.
And so it's not just about how many therapists I've got working with me here. And we've got multiple sites now as well. We do have a site at Three Hills Sports Park and a site at F51, the skate park. And our new premises is on Grace Hill in Folkestone. And so we've got those multiple sites, but it's not just about that. It's about the other therapists in the area that I send people to and we send people to if we don't have the right people with us.
Yeah, I think that's important. By the way, I think that's, from, as you know, I'm a business coach, and
Mhm.
that's the same as me. Not every business coach suits a certain type of person. You've got to find the one that suits you. So I guess
Yeah,
that's the same as a therapist. And
yeah.
so, what do you what's been your biggest challenge in growing core therapies from just you to what it is now and having that team and a scalable business?
The biggest challenge has been two things, um, because there is never just one thing.
Hmm.
One of them, mindset.
Okay.
Um, I'm also a trained business coach now. Didn't have a lot to
Okay.
do during COVID, so when it did that. Um, but I've done a lot of work with training in NLP, hypnotherapy, EFT, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, that really helped because mindset is huge. And it's very easy to get into self-sabotage and look around and go, oh, there are so many other people doing this. Why are people going to come to me?
Yeah.
And so, yes, certainly in the earlier years, mindset was a big challenge.
Yeah.
And the other challenge is finding therapists who not just see your vision and love it as much as you do, as much as I do, and want to work within that vision, but who don't want to just do the odd client here and there. There are a lot of therapists who only want to do 2 or 3 clients a week.
Yeah.
And that's okay, but to be consistent for our patients and our clients, we have to have consistency from the therapists.
Yeah.
And so from that perspective, that's probably been the biggest challenge. Um,
Absolutely. So yeah, so that mindset, self-sabotage, and
mm,
and what I picked up from that last one was finding the right people that
mm,
that fit with the type of values of business
yeah,
that you've created.
yeah.
Okay. And actually, let me ask a slightly different question. So,
Okay.
if you could wave a magic wand,
Yeah.
what challenge would you solve in your business right now?
What challenge would I solve in my business right now? I would wave a magic wand so that every therapist who worked with me and every therapist who applied to come and work with us would want to work weekends and evenings and that. But there is another challenge, and that's on the other side of the business. So we've in moving the premises, we've moved from Tontine Street up to Grace Hill. We've built our therapy centre up on Grace Hill, and we've built the injury and pain rehab gym. And the reason we've done that is because I want to build either a CIC or a charity. That's coming soon. I've got some meetings coming when I get back from holiday about that. Um, so that we can start taking referrals from GPs for people with musculoskeletal pain
Okay.
and or injury can come in, have 12 weeks of rehab
Yeah.
and then be on their way free of charge. because we're going to get the funding to cover those people.
Yeah.
And that's not the NHS paying us, because if we wanted the NHS to pay us, we wouldn't be able to afford to be open because the NHS can't afford to pay us.
Yeah.
That's us fundraising to get the money to be able to help those people.
I get that. I get that.
And so the biggest challenge at the minute is finding the people who will help us do the fundraising.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So let's talk about sort of something sort of different here.
Mhm.
So at what point did you realise that you needed systems and structure to run the business, and what did you put in place first?
Okay, so with my toy shop, there were no systems and structures.
Yeah.
It was like a game, and I was having a wonderful time, but I had no idea what I was doing.
Yeah.
Apart from paying the guy from Chubb to come and do the fire extinguishers because I was told I had to, and paying the bills and ordering the stock, I didn't have a clue. Um, but when it came to the first thing that I had to put in place was contracts with the therapists. And that's for several reasons. One, from an insurance perspective, I needed to have a signed piece of paper to say that they had insurance
Yeah.
because they're self-employed, they need to have their own insurance. And signed piece of paper that stated that if anything went wrong in treatment, that's on them. Anything goes wrong in the building as the client comes through, or let's say the couch they're on, that's on me, that's my insurance. But anything that happens within the treatment is on them. So it was very apparent to me very quickly I needed contracts for therapists in place. And then it was, I saw people doing things differently to the way that I do them.
Yeah.
And there's part of me that goes, oh God, why are you doing it like that? Because I do it like this. And surely my way's superior, not in an arrogant way, but but this works way. So why on earth would you do that and take an extra 45 minutes around the houses to do it?
Mm.
And that was when I learnt the term SOPs. And I'm like, what is a SOP? And so I had to
Yeah.
Google it. I heard it, had to Google it. Okay, standard operating procedures. What do those look like? And so I started looking at what those would look like, and things like when I implemented the online booking system, that, as much as the booking system themselves has got a description on how you book the appointments, okay, here's the standard operating procedures, the information on how you can book a person in,
Yeah.
and those sorts of things. Health and safety for a business like ours wouldn't seem like it's a lot, but actually it's nuts. Um, and over the years, I've gone, oh, we need something for this, we need something for that. And it's all mainly built around health and safety, employment as well. I do have a clinic administrator, so then of course there's employment contracts, employment law, HR responsibilities. And my clinic administrator, I love her dearly. She actually ran HR for another firm for about 15 years. And so sometimes I go to her and go, what's my HR requirement for you for this? What's my responsibility for this? Because I want to make sure that I'm covering it properly. But I'm also really happy for her to go, Rach, you do realise we've got to change this because it's your
So
responsibility now.
linked into that, Rachel. So you're how how has your role changed as the business has grown? Because you started off um doing everything yourself, and now, as you say, you've got your HR person,
Yeah.
and so how has your role changed since the business has grown, and what have you had to let go of?
Right, that's the biggest thing, the letting go of. Oh my goodness, letting go of perfection
Right. Yeah.
is so important. You can't do everything yourself. You can't do it. You can't do everything yourself unless you are going to do everything yourself and just commit to staying where you are. If you want to grow, if you want to develop, if you want to build, you have to let go of perfection.
Yeah.
You've got no choice. So in letting go of perfection, I have a clinic administrator. And that's me letting go of perfection because
Yeah.
I don't have time to do all of those roles and the admin roles and everything and see patients, which is where I need to be because that's where I'm best placed. understanding where I am better serving people.
Yeah.
If I was brilliant at admin and a crap therapist, I wouldn't be a therapist. I'd be doing the admin bit and I'd have more therapists on,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know? So, um, moving through and allowing other people to take on roles and bringing other people in. We've got a cleaner, we've got a clinic administrator, we have an accountant. That was weird, stepping away and having somebody else do my accounts for me and trusting that they weren't going to screw me over. You know, it's trust in other people. You have to just trust. And then when they cock up, you have to teach them. Because if they've cocked up, it's just you've not taught them something.
Yeah. I agree.
If it's
Which is okay.
persistent
That's
and it's
great.
the same thing, then that's a problem.
Yeah,
But you know,
exactly. Repeating the same
yeah,
mistakes over and over again, you've got a problem.
that's it.
Which generally, as you quite rightly sort of say, Rachel, either suggests that there wasn't a system in place or
Hmm.
process for
Yeah,
doing that thing,
yeah,
and or that person, as you said there, wasn't trained on how to follow that system or
yeah,
process.
yeah,
And if those two things are in place, then you need to look at the person and go, well, there's something wrong at that person level.
yeah.
But the first thing is, was there a system and has the person been trained on it? So yeah, great sharing. Thank you for that. And look, Rachel, there's one question that I always like to ask everyone that's kind enough to sort of join me on this discussion, and
Hmm.
that's this: what is the best advice that you would give to an 18-year-old you?
Am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, that's absolutely fine by me.
Excellent. Just fucking do it. JFDI, just fucking do it. Because at the end of the day, if you're looking out there and going, but so many other people are doing it, it means that there's a need.
Yeah,
And I guarantee that where there's a need, you are going to be the right person to provide that need for a group of people. And the other little thing, my background's sales,
yeah,
and I have done sales for years. And the therapy industry is weird. The toughest problem I ever had with the therapy industry was moving out of hard sales.
right, okay,
Because when you're selling treatments to people, it shouldn't ever be about the hard sale.
no,
It's, but there is still a sales element, and all therapists struggle with it. But everybody tends to struggle with sales unless you've learnt it. There is always going to be somebody who's going to quibble over a £5 handbag. And there will always be somebody who will pay £50,000 for a handbag and not even look at the tag. And they'll
yeah.
just hand over their credit card. So if the people that you're targeting are saying you're too expensive, then you're looking at working with the wrong people.
Or they don't understand the value of what you're offering.
There is the value piece as well. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. I just didn't want to take up loads of your time and go into that bit
no,
because I
no,
could spend
yeah,
half an hour there.
no, and it's no, but you're absolutely right. It's you're
Mm,
right.
mm,
You've got to get your target market right.
yeah.
Absolutely, because some people will, um, uh, they'll always want to buy the cheapest thing.
Hmm.
Um, that it doesn't matter what, but most people will pay a reasonable price as long as they can see the value in it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah.
So right target market and make sure they understand the value of what you're offering,
Yeah.
and why it might be different to what your competitors are offering.
Yeah.
Uh,
Have you heard the term whip him?
what was that? Whip it?
Whip him. What's in it for me?
Oh yeah, that's yeah. I pronounce it yeah. Yeah, WIIFM. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's in it for me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's a great thing to think about, isn't it? Everybody's thinking, what's in it for me? And
Yeah.
yeah, you've got to make sure you communicate that. So, well,
Yeah.
look, Rachel, thank you very much. Look, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about your business, but also your journey as well. So,
Thank
thank you for
you.
joining us.
Thank you for inviting me. Awesome.